Going live. We are live. Hey, good morning. I hope you're doing well. It's 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show, and I am Greg Mester, Scrum Master and Agile Coach. Looks like we got a little bit of lag here in the YouTube world, but I think it's okay. Looks like there's a Microsoft update down somewhere. Maybe that's caused by a problem. I didn't see that. Sorry about that. About 7:04. This is our 620th episode, and today I want to talk about customer changing their mind. Part of the adventure this morning is why we leave a little space for agility in our show, just because it triggers different ideas. And we're going to do Fortune Cookie Friday. Yay! So we're going to talk about, when we do Fortune Cookie Friday, we open up these fortune cookies that were supplied to us by the Agile accountants that have a message in it. And we have to apply whatever the message is to Agile or the show or something. We have to figure it out. So that's part of our Fortune Cookie Friday. And today, I think I want to talk about customer changing their mind, and why we do Agile for that particular reason. So, what do we do on this show? Well, on the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show, I am Greg Mester, Scrum Master and Agile Coach, and we talk about Agile in a practical and tactical way in Scrum to bring value to the customer. Make sure we're not working crazy hours to get that value to the customer. And basically try to get home to have fun with our family and friends and enjoy life a little bit, enjoy what we do in the office. I have a snoring dog over here, so if you hear snoring in the background, that's the dog. She's, because we got up at 5 a.m. in the morning, do our walk thing, thought I was going to get here, but between trash, dog walking, kids getting up, things going on, it just doesn't happen right away. And this is where the change in the customer opinion takes. So I'm about ready to go do the show. About an hour ago or so, my son comes in and says, "Hey, Dad, you want to go walk and go see the sunrise this morning?" He wanted to go out to the river and see the sunrise. So this is my customer. Customer wants to go see the sunrise, right? I'm like, well, when I get to hang out with my son, I'm up for it. Let's do it. I could always do the show later. So we started heading up. As we're walking out, he realizes, I said to him, boy, that sun is awfully high, because you got to be up at 5 a.m. in the morning when we're out with the dogs to see the sunrise at this point in time. He's like, yeah, sun's all the way up there, isn't it? I'm like, yeah, and we forgot our hats, right? And he's like, yeah. He's like, you know what, Dad, can we go home? So I'm not so interested, because he wanted to see it rise. I'm like, okay. So that was a classic example of the customer saying they wanted to do something, but when they saw it and where it was going, they changed their mind that wasn't quite what they wanted to do. And we as Agile people in the mindset are like, okay, well, let's change and go do something else. So I came back and get ready to do the show and write some stuff up and just prep for the day instead. But we have to have that ability, because how many times do we sit there and we think that we're going to work on something for 9 months, deliver something to the customer, and they're not like, yeah, that's not what I wanted. And you just spent 9 months freaking working on that stuff, right? That's because they're not Agile. You're not Agile when you do that. When you wait a month out, you're not Agile. The idea is you get little pieces in front of the customer, and they tell you whether they like it or not along the way. So you get that real short feedback loop we talked about the other day about doing UAT in a sprint, right? Getting that short feedback loop so you can see what the customer likes. Because if he didn't speak up, we could have walked all the way to the river, because we were about halfway there. And he's like, yeah, this is not what I wanted to do. So I walked all the way there. But in fact, kind of checked with him. I said, hey, you realize the sun's like way up in the sky right now at 6 a.m. in the morning. He's like, yeah, no, I was wanted to get. I said, well, you can get up next time with me and the dogs at 5 a.m. We can see the sunrise. He's like, okay, we'll do that. So he changed his mind because he was in the process and able to do it and react. So we didn't walk all the way there and walk all the way back. And next thing I know, it'll be like 8 o'clock or something. God knows. But that's like with the customer. You got to get into the customer and talk to them along the way. The old way of getting it all designed and delivering years later or months later, it never really worked. It never worked. It never worked for my entire career as a program manager. When I was a program manager, I always had my teams getting work in front of the customer on a monthly basis. And you're like, what do you mean monthly? I was doing hardware and software, right? It wasn't just software. It was both. Once we get the hardware in, it was more rapid that we were delivering, showing what the customer could do. And we had new generations of the hardware that came along. But always got the software and the look and feel in front of the customer's hands on a monthly basis within a sprint. That was way before I started doing Agile. So for those who think they can wait months to deliver something to the customer, let them see it. And I agree with those guys when I'm talking about you. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. So the Agile mindset is about getting stuff smaller, getting smaller feedback loops, letting the customer absorb the change, let them try the change, and give you feedback whether or not you're on the right track. That's the Agile mindset, okay? That's what we're going for. Smaller pieces in front of the customers. And it's not just smaller pieces that fit in a time box. It's about smaller pieces getting in front of the customer in a small time box. Value to the customer. And we'll talk tomorrow about scaling and enterprise stuff because some things came up. There was a tweet that I retweeted. It was pretty good. And the idea of bringing value, right? So I do want to put a shout out from a podcast perspective, okay? Nebraska, Virginia, Texas, Nebraska, Virginia, Texas. A lot of people come, I don't know, maybe we've got a lot of fans in there, a lot of Agile people out there listening to the podcast. California's kind of dropped off the map. I wonder if because of COVID, no one's stuck in the traffic in California anymore. So they're not really listening to podcasts anymore. They're out enjoying life. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe we want California to go back to work so you get stuck and listen to podcasts. No, I don't want that. But now worldwide, it's fun. Spain. Real shows looks like it's popular in Spain. Ghana, Egypt, and India. So those are after Australia and New Zealand. Those are like the next couple countries. Ireland's up there too, and UK's up there. But it's interesting watching Spain. Apparently, there's a couple people in Spain that really like the show, and Ghana and Egypt and India. So they're picking up this week. So I think I got some return viewers or listeners on the podcast. So thank you very much for everybody. Thank you, Nebraska. Thank you, Virginia. Thank you, Texas. Even thank you, California, even though there's less people in California. Definitely thank you, Spain, Ghana, Egypt, India. Thank you for listening to our show. Please keep sharing. More Agile people. You know, it's a free thing for people to have. It's a simple thing, enough for me to give. And with that, Fortune Cookie Friday, yay! Betty, I woke her up. She's not snoring anymore. So, the Fortune Cookie. The Agile accountants have sealed in this bag of plastic and a cookie a message for us. And we have to see how this message goes and goes towards our Agile activity, right? So, here's the cookie. Open up the cookie. Open up the cookie. Here we go. Of course, the dog. As soon as I touch the cookie, she's like, look, she's staring at the cookie. You're a trip dog. You want to see the face? You want to show me your face? No, you just want the cookie. Okay, she just wants the cookie. She doesn't care about this. All right. So what's the fortune cookie hat say? Oh, wow. It's a nice one. Nothing in the world is accomplished without passion. I just think it's funny that we just talked about all the podcasts around the world that people are listening to it because they're passionate about Agile and Scrum. I hope I'm helping and sharing with you thoughts and things. And please feel free to send us comments, questions, bring them up on the show as they come about. Oh my God, that's right. I had a little idea the other day. I have to write that down in my book for the show. Nothing in the world is accomplished without passion. And that is so true in a transformation in the Agile world. You know, getting passionate about people getting home to family and friends is what I'm passionate about, right? And none of this would have been accomplished if I didn't really think about that aspect of why Agile's good. It's so you can get value to the customer, not going crazy to get there. Problem is everybody misplans, mismanages, misdoes all this stuff, have to spend entire weekends, weeks getting ready to prep to roll out stuff, which is not really needed. It's software. If you do it right and get in front of the customer and get feedback, try it integrated, do it in an agile way, you don't need to work those crazy hours. That's a figment of everybody's imagination. Anyway, so nothing in the world is accomplished without passion. Right, Ed?
Mm-hmm.
You coming in the show? I'm about to end the show with the fortune cookie. Do you want a fortune cookie? Okay. Do you want to add anything about here? I got something for you, Ed.
Well,
Here, give me your interpretation. Nothing in the world is accomplished without passion. What does that mean to you?
What does passion mean?
Passion means like a love for it, a really like for it, a energy. Anything?
Can you read it one more time?
Nothing in the world is accomplished without passion, without energy and drive to really like something. What does that mean to you?
It means like you need all the internet kind of.
All the internet?
Mm-hmm.
You need all the internet? Okay, got that.
I do need the internet.
You do need the internet?
You block my shows.
I'm blocking your shows?
On YouTube.
On YouTube? No, I'm not.
I can't watch a show.
Oh, you can't watch a show?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. I blocked it. I wonder what show is it. You got to tell me. All right. With that, I'm going to say, please give us a thumbs up. Enjoy your Friday. Happy Friday out there in the world. Ring the little bell if you like your show. And remember, and I think this is important in transformation, nothing in the world is accomplished without passion. Okay, so if you want to do an agile transformation, you better be passionate about it, or it's going to drive you into a hole. All right, you all have a great day. Good talking to you. Say goodbye, Ed.
Bye.
Bye. All right, take care. Bye.